According to Raymond James Chief Investment Officer Larry Adam, the spike in U.S. egg prices has generated countless headlines in recent months. But how big of an issue is this for consumers? To answer that question, we need to delve into data that you'll rarely see in the media. As we explore the numbers, we find that overall food inflation is actually quite mild. The wholesale price of eggs in the U.S. market reached a record $8 a dozen in late February, up 30% year to date and up a whopping 150% versus 12 months ago. No other agricultural commodity has increased so much in price over the past year. The other food products that are in the headlines, coffee and cocoa, are up only 120% and 70% respectively. As shown in this chart, historically egg prices bounce around the $2 a dozen level. The culprit for the spike in egg prices is a severe outbreak of avian influenza virus H5N1, commonly referred to as bird flu, which is wreaking havoc on poultry farms. From December of 2024 through February of 2025, U.S. farmers had to put down 37 million egg-laying hens. That's around 10% of the nationwide total. Fewer hens translates into less supply of eggs, hence the price spike. The USDA is forecasting egg production to decline around 1% in 2025, following a similar size drop in 2024. The first quarter of this year is expected to mark the trough in production and the peak in prices. As hen flocks gradually rebuild toward the end of 2025, prices should come down, but it won't be a perfectly smooth process. A bit of help may also come from increased egg imports, though the U.S. is typically a net exporter. We should note that the risk of bird flu infection in humans is low. CDC data shows that only 69 people have been infected across the United States. Nearly all of them work in agriculture. Another question posed, is this also an issue for chicken meat? And the short answer is no, thankfully. It may seem counterintuitive that chicken prices remain essentially stable, whereas egg prices have more than doubled over the past year. Here's why. Egg-laying hens are farmed separately from chickens raised for meat, which are called broiler chickens. And the latter haven't been nearly as impacted by the latest outbreak. In fact, the USDA is forecasting broiler production to increase 1% this year, the same rate as in 2024. The US media continues to fixate on eggs as the prime case study of how consumers are experiencing inflation. The outsized coverage is giving a false impression about the magnitude of this issue. Here's the reality. While customers are seeing higher prices for eggs, the Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows that eggs account for a mere 2% of the average grocery bill. It depends on individual food preferences, but as a rule of thumb, a 4-person household with a monthly grocery budget of $1,200 might be spending $25 on eggs. As shown in this chart, which is derived from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, we show food price increases on a retail basis over the last year. It's important to note that what consumers pay at the store differs from wholesale prices due to markups for distribution, retail, and other factors, none of which are influenced by the bird flu. This explains why the egg price increase in the chart, which is up around 53%, is smaller than the wholesale metrics, around 150%, mentioned earlier in the report. As shown in that chart, the price escalation in eggs truly stands out. Nothing else is even close, including coffee and candy, which also tend to be overhyped. Prices of other foods, many of which are more financially needle-moving, are more stable or down versus 12 months ago. Breakfast cereal, for example, accounts for 2% of the average grocery bill, and it's 0.3% cheaper than a year ago. Likewise, milk, also 2% of the bill, is up a modest 1.8% from last year. Putting everything together, the recently reported CPI data show that overall food inflation stands at 2.5% year over year, which is slower than the aggregate CPI of 3%. Looking at eggs in isolation isn't a useful approach, given that prices of everything else we eat are much more stable. Inflation at the grocery store is a reality, and the bird flu's impact on eggs is a unique situation. However, egg prices are not representative of overall food spending. Our view is that inflation should gradually decline as this year gets underway, and food will be part of that trend, even if egg prices remain elevated. And that's all for this timely economic update. If you or your family have any questions or would like to speak to my team and I to get your financial roadmap laid out, please don't hesitate to reach out anytime. And as always, thank you for watching. and have a blessed day.